Hey everyone, we have the next V-Jump promo revealed in the OCG. This card got revealed a month ago along with the Fallen of White Dragon and the new Ecclesia Synchro. A lot of people have been waiting for this card's effect because a lot of people thought that it would synergize with the Fallen of White Dragon. The reason why people thought this is because Fallen of White Dragon, when you special summon it by its own effect, that card locks you into only summoning level 8 fusion and synchro monsters for the rest of the turn. This card being a level 8 synchro and also belonging to the branded lore makes a lot of sense, and that's why people thought the cards would work together. I was also really excited for this card, not just because of the branded and the Fallen of White Dragon, but also because I really like Swordsoul. Without a doubt, Swordsoul is my favorite of the Fallen of Albaz lore archetypes. I think they're really cool, and how they ended was really sad. Their entire tribe just gets wiped out. So the card is a level 8 light spellcaster synchro monster with 2500 attack and 2500 defense. For materials, it needs a level 4 tuner monster plus one or more non-tuners. If this card is synchro summoned, you can add a level 4 or 8 spellcaster monster whose attack equals its defense from your deck or grave to your hand. You can target a face-up card in the field, negate its effects, and then if you have an Ecclesia or Fallen of Albaz monster in your grave, you can destroy that card. Overall, I think this card is pretty good. It's a semi-generic synchro. I say semi-generic because some synchro decks will not be able to make this card. For example, in Dragoonity, I can't make this card. Even though I wouldn't want to play this card, I still can't make it if I wanted to. The funny thing is I think this card is really strong, but other people on social media platforms think this card is really bad. Before I started recording, I went to see what other people thought, and most people actually think this card is bad, and that's very surprising to me. A lot of people are disappointed that the second effect is not a quick effect to negate something. I'm not too disappointed by that because this card is a semi-generic synchro, and if it was an Omni negate, I think that would be pretty lame. Also, the first effect is really strong, and it definitely makes up for the second effect not being a quick effect. There are so many targets for this card, and the two obvious ones that they want you to search is some form of Ecclesia or Fleur. There was actually one card I thought about when I first read this, and I went to check its stats to make sure that they did match, and they did, so I'm very happy. I'm going to show you guys a one card combo using this card and show you that it's actually not as bad as people say it is. For this combo, the only card that you need in your hand is one Fallen of the White Dragon. This card can special summon itself from the hand by sending a monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz from your extra deck to the grave. If you summon this card this way though, you can't special summon anything other than a level 8 synchro or fusions for the rest of the turn. Pretty hefty restriction, but don't worry, this card is definitely strong enough to make up for that. When this card is summoned, it can also special summon one Ecclesia monster from your hand, deck, or grave. There are two Ecclesia monsters, the Dogmatica one and then Incredible Ecclesia. The Dogmatica Ecclesia, it doesn't really do anything for us, so we're definitely going to summon Incredible Ecclesia. Ecclesia is a tuner monster, so we're going to use Ecclesia and Fallen of the White Dragon to summon Ecclesia the Black Dragon. This card has a quick effect during the main phase. You can banish this card until the end phase, special summon one Fallen of Albaz or one monster that mentions it as a level 4 or lower monster from your deck. This is really good for us because we can just banish this card to bring back Ecclesia from our grave. This is a really strong card. Ecclesia has an effect where it's kind of like a buffed up Cyber Dragon, but that's not the reason why you're playing this card. It's a nice effect, but the second effect is a lot better. During the main phase, as a quick effect, you can tribute this card to summon a Fallen of Albaz or a Swordsouls monster from your deck. We're going to do this and we're going to summon Taya. Now Taya is really good because he can banish a Swordsoul or a Worm monster from your grave to special summon a level 4 token. You can't do anything other than synchro summon while the token's face up on the field, but it's a level 4 tuner monster. This is great because Taya is a non-tuner, so now we can make a level 8 synchro. Now the best thing about this is that normally we wouldn't have a monster to banish off the effect of Taya, but the really cool thing is that Mirror Jade is a worm monster, not a dragon. If you don't know, in the lore, Fallen of Albaz is a dragon and he has the ability to fuse into other cards. Most of them are dragons. The reason why the Mirror Jade is a worm monster and not a dragon is because Changyin gives him the power of the Sword Soul. This lets Albaz turn into a worm monster, and I always thought that was a cool bit of lore, but it's really awesome that that lore actually pays off here. We can banish that Mirror Jade from our grave to give ourselves a token, and now we can make the new level 8 synchro. Now when Taya is sent to the grave as synchro material, he can send any Sword Soul card or a worm monster from your deck to the grave. We're not going to end up using this card, so I'm just going to send a blackout, but if you actually have an extender in your hand or some use for the card, you can send whatever you want. Now for the effect of the 3 Brave Sword Souls, you get to add a monster that's a level 4 or 8 spellcaster who have the same attack and defense. There are so many targets here, and I won't be able to cover all of them in this one video, but I'm going to show you all the ones I think are the most relevant. If you're someone who loves combo theory as much as I do, you can definitely play around with these cards, and I would actually be interested to see what other people do. Like I said, there are far too many cards for me to cover in one video, but I would like to see what other people come up with. So I put all the cards in my spell and trap zone and in my hand just because I'm a visual type of person, so a lot of the time when people are talking, I like to look at an actual visual image. page. I know some people aren't like that, but if you're someone like me, I put these cards here just so you can see them while I'm talking about them. So Master Cerberus is pretty cool because when he's in the pendulum zone and you have no other card in your other pendulum zone, you can destroy the card, and then if you do, you can add a mythical beast level 7 or lower monster from your deck to your hand. Obviously they want you to add Jackal King because you can destroy that card while it's in the pendulum zone to special summon a mythical beast monster from your extra deck. The card has to be face up in the extra deck though, so it's obvious they want you to summon Master Cerberus. Plushfire is actually a really cool card to add because of this Swordsouls second effect. You get to target a face up card in the field and negate its effects. Then if you have a Fallen of Albus monster in your grave, you can pop it. This is really good because Plushfire will trigger its effect that way. There are some pretty good Performage cards like Performage Water Dancer and Fire Dancer. Those cards are really good. It's pretty unfortunate though because Fallen of White Dragon locks us into level 8 Synchro and Fusion, so we won't be able to XC summon. That's pretty much the entire point of the engine, so if you're able to make this card without getting locked, you would definitely consider that. Wisdom Eye Magician is another card. You're noticing that the Pendulum cards are pretty good to add here. You can do a lot of really cool things in Pendulum Magicians, but you won't be able to put a Link monster on the field, so it's probably not wise to search them, but there's definitely some synergy here if you don't get locked under Fallen of White Dragon. The cards that I'm most interested in are definitely the Magistus cards. You have Spoon and Zorora. Spoon is really good because it can discard itself from your hand to add a Magistus monster from your deck to your hand. The best target is definitely Zorora. This is the card I would add for sure. It's very bad to add Zorora by himself without getting Spoon first because if you add him to your hand, you won't have a monster to summon if you do equip him with a Magistus card. Hatricker is pretty decent. He's just a free special summon, but the rest of the Albus lore cards are pretty good too. Ecclesia is pretty good, but the problem is if we summon the card, we won't be able to special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn. Iris and Fleur are definitely really good cards to summon here just because you can trigger the negate yourself to summon Iris, and Dogmatica Fleur is just a free special summon. However, if you don't have a Dogmatica card, it will not be able to negate something, so keep that in mind. Guiding Quem is very good and very easy to trigger. You're essentially able to bring a monster back from the grave and make another level 8 synchro. I personally just don't think it's all that worth it. So now I'm going to put the rest of these cards back into the deck and I'll show you the card I think is best to add. That card is Spoon. I think by far the Magistus engine is the best thing to search off this. First of all, we didn't use our normal summon, and second of all, the cards are really easy to use. We're going to add Spoon to our hand and then discard it to get a search for Zorora. Zorora has an effect when he's equipped with a Magistus card. He can special summon a level 4 or lower Magistus from your hand or grave. He also can equip the card from your extra deck to himself immediately, so he's a very strong card. Because Zorora got equipped with a card, we can bring back Spoon and now we can synchro summon. The monster that we're going to summon is a level 8 Zorora. This is Zorora Calamity. When this card is summoned, he gets to equip the Magistus card from the extra deck to himself. You can add a Magistus monster from your deck to your hand, so we're going to do that. So we're going to add Crowley the Gifted Magistus, and this card is really important. If this face-up card on the field is used as fusion material, you can count him as Alistair the Invoker. Not only that, when he's added to your hand, except by drawing it, you can special summon this card from your hand. Finally, when this card is summoned, you can fusion summon using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. So this card is kind of insane, and because we have a light monster on our field, we can special summon the Crowley that we added, and we can actually make Invoked Makaba. Also, we'll get a monster back from our grave to our hand during the end phase, so you can negate any monster effect that you want. While this is good, we can definitely do a lot more, and I'm going to show you how. Instead of making Makaba, we're going to take Zorora and fuse it with Crowley. Now we can make the Invoked Magistus Omega. When this card is summoned, you can banish a monster from your grave and also banish a card on the field. This is a pretty decent effect, but we don't really care about it because we're going first. However, Zorora in the grave has a really good effect. You can target a Magistus card you control, destroy it, and special summon this card from the grave. We're going to target our Omega, destroy it, bring back Zorora, and trigger the second effect of Omega. When this card is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can special summon any level 4 spellcaster from your deck and then equip this card to it. Now, a really cool monster that you can summon from your deck is Sylvia of the White Forest. By doing this combo, you can actually bridge into full White Forest combo, which is pretty cool. The reason why is that we're locked into level 8 Synchro, so we can't make use of any of the good level 6 ones. On top of that, it's very easy to bridge into these cards because we're always going to have cards in our spell and trap zone to send to the grave for their effects. We can also summon the Examina monsters, but like I said, we're locked out of all the good ones. Instead, we're going to summon a level 4 monster called Moon Magician. When this card is summoned, you get to target a level 4 spellcaster in your grave and special summon that card. Incredible Ecclesia is a level 4 spellcaster, so we can do that. Omega will also equip this up onto Moon Magician, and there is a point in the combo where you can stop here, and I'll explain why. Zorora Calamity is really strong because your opponent could not activate the effects of monsters with the same card type as the Magistus monsters in your spell and trap zone. So for example, we have a fusion and a link monster, so they can't activate the effects of any link or fusion monsters. This is really strong, and we can keep comboing, but if you want, you can actually stop here and prevent your opponent from activating the effects of a fusion or a link monster. This is all thanks to the effect of Spoon in the grave. By banishing this card, you can equip Zora with a Magistas monster from your extra deck or your grave. You can also equip Zora with an Xyz monster so you can lock your opponent out of K9 cards. So what I mean by stopping the combo now, you can actually just end here and now your opponent won't be able to summon a link or a fusion. Obviously we're going to keep comboing, but I just thought I would mention that. Also, if you want to do a really stupid play, you can get rid of both of these cards to summon a Doom Dragon. Doom Dragon can be special summoned from the extra deck by sending 2 face-up monster cards in your spell and trap zone to the grave. This is an awful play by the way, but like I said, if you want to do something stupid, you can. Thankfully over here we're smart and we don't do bad plays, but just in case you wanted to, I thought I would mention it. So right here I'm going to use Moon Magician and my Ecclesia so I can summon Enlightenment Paladin. So you're probably wondering why I summoned Enlightenment Paladin, because this card is actually pretty bad. If you use a Magician card as synchro material to summon this card, you can target a spell card in your grave and add it to your hand. That's a pretty good effect, but I didn't use a Magician card, so this is just a vanilla monster right now. This card also has another effect. When it destroys a monster by battle, its Flame Wingman, you inflict burn damage equal to that monster's original attack to your opponent. So we have a Flame Wingman effect, and we have a first effect that we can't even use. This is just a vanilla monster, and if you're thinking that this is really bad, then you're right. There is a good reason why I summoned this card though, and it's really just a bridge into Dark Magician. Dark Magician got a really cool support card in the Tactical Tri-Decks. This is Dark Magician of Destruction. During the turn that you activated a spell card, you can banish a level 6 or higher Dark Spellcaster monster to summon this card. When this card is summoned, it can also add a Dark Magician or one card that mentions that card. This is pretty cool because here we can add the Gaze of Timaeus or Secrets of the Dark Magic. These cards are pretty nice because they can help you fusion summon, and pretty much my end goal of this combo was just to summon Dragoon. I think Dragoon is a really strong card, but it's pretty difficult to make, which is why no one makes them anymore. Back when Verte Anaconda was still in the game, a bunch of people just spammed Dragoon, and that card ended up getting banned. It's not banned anymore because we have no Verte Anaconda, but the card is still really strong, so I did want to summon it. Now the reason why Gaze of Timaeus is really good is because it doesn't need another monster to fusion summon. You can just use a Dark Magician on our field. Oh, by the way, also Dark Magician of Destruction becomes Dark Magician while on the field and in the grave. So this is just a one card fusion summon, but it does banish the monster during the end phase of the next turn. Obviously that sucks because we don't want to lose Dragoon, which is why Secrets of the Dark Magic is better. The summoning condition for Red Eyes Dark Dragoon is Dark Magician plus Red Eyes Black Dragon or one Dragon effect monster. Next turn we'll be able to get back Ecclesia of the Black Dragon. That card will banish itself and that will summon another Fallen of the White Dragon. Fallen of the White Dragon is a dragon monster we can fusion summon with the Quick Play card, and now we can make Dragoon. So obviously this isn't the greatest combo ever, but it's still pretty good, especially when you consider the lock of Fallen of White Dragon. So your opponent can't activate the effects of Link monsters. Also you have Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, which is an Omnia Gate, and you always have a card in your hand to discard. You will constantly keep recurring back Ecclesia of the Black Dragon, and you also got a free synchro monster. So just for one card, I don't think this is bad at all. Now there's definitely a lot more stuff you can do, and I really hope someone else uploads a video showing some combos with this card. The reason why I make these videos really early is because I got a ton of nice comments saying that people love these videos. I don't mind making them at all, but I really wish someone else would make some early combos. Usually there's only like 1 or 2 people who ever upload anything, and it's not even a real combo, it's just them showcasing a duel replay. I think those are really boring too, which is why I don't upload them myself. I really hope that someone else uploads a combo with this card before I go to sleep, but I already know that's not gonna happen. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a good one. Take care.